Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie.
Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English, Jesus Christ, in Hebrew, it's Yahweh. So do or die. The immaculate conception is deception, along with the myth of giving gifts on December 25th. Christmas is Satan's clause, the birth of Nimrod, and not the son of God. To you was kind of odd. On the Passover, Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh. It's all about the Most High.
So the title of the class is called So You Think You Made It, right? And the reason being is because, you know, so yeah, you found the truth. You found out that you're an Israelite. You know, Christ was a melanated man. You're a melanated man and woman. You found the keys to the kingdom. Like it says in Matthew, when a man finds a jewel in a, I know I'm butchering it, but a man
finds a treasure.
He sells all he has to attain that field.
Right. When a man finds a field, he sells everything to get the field.
Got it. Mm-hmm. How many of us actually sold all we had to attain that field? Like, how many of us really look at the work, the truth, the Most High's work, the Most High's service as a treasure? Or are we just here? Just going through the motion. So that's why the title of the class is called So You Think You Made It. Or Do You Think You Made It? So let's start with that. Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 12, verse 13. Somebody read that for me.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
So we get that. We understand that. That's why that was the purpose of man. That's why God created us. This was the answer to all of our questions. When we were in the world, we was like, man, something's wrong.
I had other questions. Go ahead.
This ain't how the world was supposed to be running. What's going on? This was the answer to all our questions. Was to what? Read that last precept. Fear God.
Fear God and keep his commandments.
Because we saw that the world had no fear of God. And the world had no care of keeping the Most High's commandments. Read.
For this is the whole duty of man.
And that's the whole duty of man. That's how you actually free your mind and free yourself and separate yourself. But everybody else, you know, their minds is gone. They don't know what they want. They have all the money in the world, but they're still doing drugs. They have no freedom. They have no freedom of their mind. They're chasing everything. They gotta be smoking weed every day. They gotta get drunk every night. Even though they have millions and millions of dollars, they're still committing suicide. So what is it? Why are they like that? Because they should be comfortable, right? They made it in the world. They got the riches of the world. But they're not comfortable. Why? Because there's no fear of God and there's no keeping of God's commandments in them. But see, that's the whole duty of man. But see, our duty is different. We have a whole nother duty. Our duty is not just to fear God and to keep his commandments. Go to 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. Our duty isn't just to fear the Most High and keep his commandments. Our duty is different. Our duty is to show people and to teach people and to bring them up to this level. To where now they can fear God and they can keep and they can keep his commandments and they can get into a good space with the Creator, like what we're trying to fight to be. But read 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9. But you are a chosen generation.
But we are what?
A chosen generation.
See, our generation is chosen, man. It's a blessing for us to be able to live in the year 2019. Yes, it is a curse to see transvestites and all this stuff going on. But it's still a blessing to be able to see that and be like, man, this is actually happening. The time is close. Like Christ said, many prophets desire to see the things that we're seeing. Many people back in the day desired to see the things that we are seeing. And we're seeing it. We're the chosen people that get to see it. As bad as it seems, we're the chosen people that get to raise our kids in this generation where every other child is messed up. But our kids gets to be that glimmering of light, that glimmering of hope. Just like we're working and striving to be that glimmering of hope. That light that's shining through the darkness. We're that chosen generation that gets to live through it. Read.
A royal priesthood.
And this is the thing, man. We're a what?
A royal priesthood.
But see, a lot of our men, we don't, it's like we don't care about this part. That we're a royal priesthood. Not just a priesthood. Not just a Catholic priest. Not just a Christian pastor. We're a royal priesthood. We're the chosen of the Most High to do His priesthood, man. That's very important. So how are we a royal priesthood but we're smoking weed on the low? Or we're alcoholics on the low? Or we still act like children on the low?
Or you stop learning how to be a priest a year in. How can you be a royal priest? How can you be a part of anything royal if you never really took the chance or took the time to get cleaned up?
God.
Where you said, you know what? Christ is black. I learned that. I learned I'm a Hebrew, right?
God.
I got it all, so I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna just chill now.
God.
I know I got the Christ is black breakdown. I got who Christ came for breakdown. I got the John 3:16 breakdown. I got those three. I'm good. I'm gonna go back on the couch. I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna kick it. I'm not gonna continue to put my brick in.
God.
Right? But read it one more time.
But ye are a chosen generation.
But see, the Most High chose us for a reason.
God.
He chose you to bring forth His word, not just to learn 2 breakdowns and then quit. Read.
A royal priesthood.
He chose you to be a royal priesthood, not just any priesthood. Like he said, not the Catholic touching on little boys priest, but a real true priesthood. But that had to be instilled and taught.
Yeah.
Read.
And holy nation.
A what?
A holy nation.
Right. We were supposed to be set apart,
God.
holy, consecrated,
Absolutely.
meet for the master's use. But how? When you stop learning how to be holy. Well, I got 50% holy, so I'm good now. Right?
I made it.
I made it. I got it. Read.
A peculiar people.
How are you supposed to be set apart and different and peculiar if you still try to engraft yourself into the same things? You're trying to put new wine in old bottles. Read on.
That ye should show forth the praise of Him who hath called you out of darkness.
Wait, we were supposed to do what?
Have called you out of darkness.
We were supposed to show forth the praise of the Most High. We were supposed to show forth the example of being pulled from the dark, from your filth, from your mire. Not, oh, I'm going to be pulled from my filth halfway. I'm going to be halfway in and halfway out. Or I'm going to get comfortable with being halfway cleansed. It don't work like that. Or I'm going to just be clean for 2 years and then I'm going to just fall back into darkness. I'm comfortable. I'm in my comfort zone. That's what a lot of sisters, that's where a lot of brothers get. You learn a few scriptures and then all of a sudden you get comfortable. Right? And there's no longer the push to move forward. There's no longer the push to grow.
Yeah.
There's no longer the trying to abound more and more because you feel like you got it, and what you have is all you need. Nah, it don't work like that. It got to be a constant mind to keep moving forward.
Has to be. It has to be, because that's how you're going to get better. That's how anybody that's good at anything gets better and becomes great at what they do. Is that they're always trying to fix their imperfections. They're always trying to work at those things that they lack. So that's what we got to be on. But read verse 10.
God, which in time past were not a people.
Yeah, so you got to remember, before the Most High chose us, we were not a people. We were the common people, the common man that you see out there. It wasn't nothing different between us. We went to high school, we smoked weed in high school, we played sports in high school, we got ran through in high school, whatever, just like everybody else. But the Most High chose us. We were just like them. We were just like those people, but he chose us. So why are we still like trying to go back to those things that we were before we found the truth? Why do we hold on to those things? See, we hold on to those things, but then we have the nerve to talk bad about certain other things that now we see. Now that we're in the truth and we see certain things that people do, and because it's not an issue to us, we have the nerve to talk bad about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like we could talk bad about somebody being gay, but you're in the truth and you still have an adulterous spirit. You still have a lustful spirit on you. You could talk bad about somebody that's smoking weed, but you still have.
You still slothful as hell. You still don't have no ambition. You still don't fight past your battles.
You give up easily?
You give up. Yeah, these are the things that, you know, if you're not set on a vision, if you don't have your mind in the right place, you get stagnant.
Con. Yeah, we're going to hit that too.
Go ahead.
Well, read.
Con, which in time past were not a people,
Read.
but are now the people of God.
But are we the people of God, though? We're supposed to be. But are you really? Read.
Which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy.
And now that's the thing, man. The Most High has blessed us with mercy, and we don't want to do spite on the mercy on the Most High's grace, man. We can't look at this mercy that we've been given. A lot of us know that we should be dead. We should have certain things, certain ailments of the flesh. We got lucky in so many occasions. A lot of different car accidents we could have been in. A lot of different women or men that we messed with that we could have caught something from that we can't be treated. A lot of us got lucky where we've eaten so bad throughout our whole life that we could have had diabetes, we could have had cancer, but we got lucky we don't. So it's a lot of things, man. The Most High showed us mercy, but a lot of us, we're not using that mercy. We're half-assing. We're just doing enough to get by. And it's the Most High's work. We can't do enough to get by in the Most High's work. Go to Philemon chapter 1, verse 10. Not Philippian, but Philemon. We rarely go here. We rarely go to Philemon. But see, this is the thing, man. The Most High chose us to be a chosen generation, a royal priesthood in these times, to wake our people up and to be an example unto our people. We weren't a people before. We weren't profitable unto the Most High before, but now we're supposed to be profitable. Read this, Philemon chapter 1, verse 10.
Philemon 1, verse 10.
Go ahead.
I beseech thee for my son, Onesimus,
Go ahead.
whom I have begotten in my bonds,
Read.
which in time past was to thee unprofitable.
See, when we first learn about the truth, when we first come in, we're all like this. We're all unprofitable. Read.
But now profitable to thee and to me.
But this is the thing. Now we're supposed to be profitable. Not only to our camp, but to our brothers and our sisters outside of the school. They're supposed to see our example. They're supposed to see us and be like, man, what's up with you? What do you do? How come you always wear a dress? How come you're so humble? How come you don't act the way we do? How come you don't talk the way we do? How come you never want to do the things that we want to do? They're supposed to look at you and be like, man, something's different about you. You're not like other people. Somebody jump to, 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 11.
I hope y'all are with us here on this. You know, what he's bringing out is some good points that, you know, when we were in our former lives, we weren't profitable to anyone. When we were in our former lives, and we, like the scriptures say, we walked in the course of the Gentiles. Yeah, we were walking like brute beast animals. We weren't a people. But the Most High gave us that mercy. So what is it that makes us profitable? And what are we profitable for? Read that.
2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 11.
Right?
Only Luke is with me.
Right?
Take Mark
Uh-huh.
and bring him with thee.
Come on.
For he is profitable to me for the ministry.
Right. Just like in this instance, We were supposed to be profitable, men, women, and children, for the ministry. That's what it was about. Your calling, your chosen priesthood, the chosen generation, that was for you to be profitable for the ministry, to be examples and examples to the people. But what is it that makes us profitable? What you got, Max? What makes one profitable in the ministry? How?
You striving. You having a vision of what role you want to play in the
Having a vision, right? Striving, right? Consistency, diligence, right? All these different things that if you lose consistency, you lose diligence, you're no longer profitable to yourself or others. If you stop striving and having a vision and a goal, you're no longer profitable to yourself and others. You're stagnant. You get stale. You see that? The whole purpose of man, keep the commandments, but it was to be profitable for the ministry. You're a chosen generation. Why? To be profitable for the ministry. Y'all understand that? From there, go to
oh man, let's.
You got another one?
Yeah, I want to hit this real quick.
Uh-huh.
Somebody go to Ezekiel chapter 16. Start at verse 1. We're gonna read through it really quick.
There was 2 questions on the topic.
Let's see here. What is it? Wasn't all of y'all children chosen to see his glorious acts?
That was forward event.
It says, wasn't all of Yah's children chosen to see his glorious acts? Because according to the word, nothing is new under the sun. Yeah, we all listen. Most High don't take joy in any unprofitable man or any sinner. So of course he wanted us all to see his glory and all make it to the kingdom. Is that going to happen? Because he wants it don't mean that it's going to happen. We all got a choice. We all got free will. So it's every man's choice whether or not he wants to see the glory of the Most High and make it to the kingdom. So yeah, that's really up to each individual. Like you can't be forced to do anything. So it's up to you if you want to make those changes to be able to see that.
It's like the scripture says, the word came unto every man.
Where does it say that in the Bible what our job is? Where does it say that in the Bible? Where does it say what our job is? Well, we read it. It says this is the duty of man. Where's it at? And there's plenty of scriptures. That's not the only one.
Yeah.
There's plenty of scriptures. We read it in Ecclesiastes. The whole duty of man is to keep the commandments. The scriptures tell us that we're ministers, right? We're servants. It tells us that we should be stewards of the word.
It tells us to heal the sick.
Right? I mean, there's plenty of places.
That was
Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13.
Right.
It reads, "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Right.
Fear God and keep his commandments.
Right. I mean,
for this is the whole duty of man."
Right. I mean, that sums it up. That sums it up in a nutshell. But there was still jobs in keeping the commandments. You had, if you desired to be a bishop, Timothy's 3, right? And then you had the duties of a woman. We read in Titus, like there was many different jobs in righteousness that we were to do. So it wasn't just one thing. It wasn't just keep the commandments. That's it. Yeah, the commandments entailed everything, but you had your bishop, you had your deacon, you had the duties of a woman. Paul would talk about being a steward, right? He I beseech you, brethren, be a good steward of the Most High. So it's in many places, but to sum it up, the duty of man is to keep the commandments and follow the Most High.
There's a question above that. That's on the topic. Right? There was other second.
Was it? does it say above that? Let's see here. Let's see here. What does it say? Which one?
From Miss Kita, it's a Bible history book explaining the judgments of what happened to Yah's chosen people because they chose to do all the unlawful acts that we continue to still do as we're doing back then.
Is the Bible a history book explaining the judgments of what happened to Yah's chosen people because they chose to do all the unlawful acts that we continually and still do as they were doing back then? Yes. Yes. The Bible is a history book of the Israelites, right? That it shows all the things that when we did right, Most High blessed us. When we did wrong, Most High cursed us, put us into captivity. It prophesied our slavery, our captivities, and it also prophesies our being brought into salvation. So to answer your question, yes. Where is it? Is what I'm asking. Oh, where is it?
I don't know what he's
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, we just read it. Ecclesiastes what? Ecclesiastes what?
Chapter 12, verse 13.
Yeah, Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 13. Where does it say? Oh, where is it? Don't forget. Hold on. Where is it? Is what I'm asking. Maybe they had a question. Oh, where does it say that Jesus let his sister teach? Oh, okay, I get it. Where is it? Yeah, I've never read that. Yeah. I'd have to look for that one. But I've never read that. Yeah. So we'll look, and if we can find that, we'll get back to you. But yeah, I've never read that. I was shy, or Jesus let his sister teach. All right. Let's jump back. Let's jump back on topic. We got an hour.
All right, Ecclesiastes chapter 16, verse 1. No, I'm sorry. Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 1.
Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 1.
And this is on the point of that the Most High is saying back in 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 10, where it says, which in time past were not a people, but are now the people of God, which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. So this is just to show that the mercy that the Most High had on us. Read Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 1.
Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 1. Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abominations.
And this is the thing. This verse 2 right here where it's saying, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abominations. For all of us here in the camp, that's what in the school, for everybody in the school, not just our camp or our school, but everybody out there that's working, this is what we work for. It's to cause our people out in the world to know their abominations. To cause them to see why you're working a 9-to-5 job and you're not getting paid anything. Why your life is so hard. Why you keep making the same mistakes over and over again that your ancestors made and that you made. But see, the Most High blessed us and he cleaned us up like we're from the read. But he blessed us and he cleaned us up for a reason. So that we may know this. Read verse 3.
And say, Thus saith the Lord God unto Jerusalem.
Read.
Thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan.
Read.
Thy father was an Amorite, and thy mother a Hittite.
What that's saying is our birth and our nativity, right? That's in the land of Canaan. Right now, we're not born in Jerusalem. We're not born in Israel. We're born in America. We're born in South America. We're scattered. We're born everywhere but in our own native land. Our parents are just like a Gentile. Our parents are pretty much Gentiles. They never taught us anything.
Yeah, we had that. It's showing that we had that Gentile state of mind.
Go ahead.
It's showing that it says it. Thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan.
Go ahead.
Not saying that we're Canaanites.
At all.
Because people try to use this scripture and say, see, we're Africans. No. It said it's of the land of Canaan.
Go ahead.
Meaning the doings of the Africans. We do just the things that they do. We were mingled amongst the heathen and learned their works. Psalms 106 and 35.
Go ahead.
So we got to be real clear in understanding that this is not saying that we're Canaanites. But he said your birth and your nativity, you might as well have been raised like nothing. You might as well been raised into nothing or from nothing.
Go ahead.
Read on.
Verse 4.
No, read on. Read on.
And as for thy nativity, in the day thou was born, thy navel was not cut.
Read.
Right. He said the nativity is the land of the Canaanites. Your father was an Amorite and thy mother was a Hittite. So he was basically saying, you like these nations, man, the way you do things, the way you were not like a no people. You didn't have no history, you didn't have no land, you didn't have no God, you didn't have no power. You had no salvation. You had no order, no structure. Did these people have a God? No. Were they chosen? Nah. Right? So they didn't have the Father above them. They were just doing whatever the hell they did. He said that's how we acted. So we got to be real clear on that. Read on. Read verse 4.
Verse 4.
And
as for thy nativity.
Think about your nativity. This is talking about your birth, a baby. Brand new out the womb. Read.
In thy day thou was born, thy navel was not cut.
Think about that, man. When nobody's around to clip the umbilical cord for a baby. No one's there to take care of the baby. That's what it's showing.
Yep.
We were like children, man, unnourished. No one cared. You just popped out, landed on your head, placenta attached and all bloody and nasty, filthy, with placenta mucus and what do they call it? What's the fluid?
Embryonic.
Embryonic fluid, and it was just on you. Nobody wiped you off.
Yeah.
What's the first thing when a baby pops out the womb? They do.
Wipe it off.
Grab it, wipe it off, clean it up, snip the navel. Right? But he was saying that nobody did that for you. Nobody did that for our people, for Israel. Read.
Neither was thou washed in water to supple thee.
Come on.
Thou was not salted at all, nor swaddled at all.
Yeah, nobody took the time to wrap you up in your little swaddling cloth. No one nurtured us. That's what this is saying, man.
No one cared, yeah.
No one cared about us. We were like brute beast little gremlin babies running around doing whatever we wanted. No one took the time to say, hey, let me clean you up. Hey, get your mind right. Hey, get off drugs. Hey, stop being a whore. Stop pole dancing. Stop doing this. Stop doing drugs. Stop selling drugs. No one took the time.
Yep.
Watch, read on.
Verse 5. None eye pitted thee.
Go ahead.
To do any of these unto thee.
See, nobody did. Not the pastor, not our teacher. The people that's in authority and the people that's in certain positions to do certain things, they for sure did not do this. Read.
To have compassion upon thee.
You see that question down there about
but thou was cast out in the open field to the loathing of thy person.
Go ahead.
In the day that thou wast born.
Verse 6, read that.
And when I passed by thee and saw thee polluted in thine own blood, I said unto thee, when thou wast in thy blood, live.
The Most High said what?
Live.
And that's what the Most High said to us, man. We was going down, what path was we going down?
The drain.
Literally.
You was Brenda had a baby, dumped in a damn dumpster. That's what we were. Brenda got a baby. What did she do with that baby? She put him in the dumpster. That's what we were. We were dumpster babies. Right? Nobody cared. Nobody cared to say, man, this baby's crying. Right? Let's feed him. Nobody cared, but the Most High, He cleaned us up. He made us that royal priesthood. He gave us the instruction. He gave us the tools to come back to be His people. You see that? He gave us the wherewithal. He gave us instruction. He gave us judgment, statutes. That's what He did. He did that for us. He did that for you. When you was out there smoking weed, when you was out there just doing nothing, being lazy as hell, right? When you was just roaming the streets like a vagabond, house to house, nothing to do, right? When you were the little pole dancer, when you were doing these things, man, nobody cared about you because nobody was like, hey, you should stop doing that. They were like, yay, keep doing that. Right? Keep destroying yourself.
We were the astonishment, like I said in Deuteronomy.
Yeah. Man, you know, all they
stock amongst nations.
You said what?
Laughing stock amongst nations.
Yeah, you were the laughing stock, but then you were woken up. Then you were the wisdom was delivered to you, and it woke you up. But were you supposed to? The point is, when you got cleaned up to a point, where did the cleaning and the cleansing stop?
It wasn't supposed to.
It wasn't supposed to.
Exactly.
But for some, it does. It's like, oh yeah, my face is clean. But what about your teeth? You forgot to brush them. What about a bath? You forgot to get your clothes cleaned and ironed. Like, you halfway got cleaned up, and then you think like, oh, I made it. I got the Bible. I'm good. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to perform anything. I can just be the 5-year trooper, the 8-year trooper, right? But that's not what the Most High wanted for you. The point was for you to abound more and more and more, right? So jump back to Matthew.
Chapter 5, verse 13.
The whole point was for you to get the word, get the cleaning, and then keep cleaning. But not just yourself, but the others around you. The point was for you to keep being glorious. Keep being the salt of the earth.
Got it.
Right? You weren't supposed to be the salt that was salty and all of a sudden you lost the flavor. You wasn't supposed to be the flavor of the salt. Then you ain't really salt. You ain't really worth nothing.
Exactly.
Read. Watch. Matthew 5:13. Read.
God. Matthew chapter 5, verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth.
Right.
Yeah, we the salt of the earth. We're the flavor. We're everything. It's like the salt is everything to the food. Literally. Not everything to the food, but you know, the salt is what brings the food together.
It enhances.
God.
The salt enhances. Salt is an enhancer. Too little salt, food is bland. Too much salt, it's too salty, right?
Yep.
Just the right amount of salt, and it brings out the flavor. Most High said we were the salt of the earth. Go ahead.
But if the salt have lost its but if the salt have lost its savor,
come on,
wherewith shall it be salted?
And that's what we gotta ask ourselves, man. Have we lost our savor? Have we lost our will? Have we lost our determination, our care, our drive? Did we lose it?
Our motivation?
Our motivation? What's up?
A quick question for the last scripture that was read, Ezekiel 16. Did it end at verse 7?
No, you can read that all the way down.
Yeah, you can read it all the way down.
We ended it there, but you can read that down to, you can read Ezekiel 16. That goes all the way down to, yep. That was decked in gold. You can read that down to verse 14.
God.
You can read that down. Listen, you can read the whole chapter.
God.
Because you know what that goes into though? What we were reading in Isaiah 3.
Yep.
God.
That goes right within Isaiah 3. How the Most High beautified us, but then we took pride in that beauty. We took too much pride in that.
God.
Right? But the point that we were trying to make was that you were pulled from watch.
The point why we went there was this, man. The Most High is the one that cleaned us up.
Right.
We didn't clean ourselves up because we would have cleaned ourselves up before we found the truth. We would have been good. Like the scripture says, the whole need not of a physician. We're here because we were sick. We're here because we had things that we needed to get cleaned up off of us. We were that baby that was born without the umbilical cord cut, without being taken care of. That was us. But the thing is this, the Most High is the one that showed us mercy, that showed us love and care, and took care of us, and cleaned us up, and has now made wisdom to shine on us. But the thing is this, man, it's like we don't care. We give the Most High bare minimum. We give him just enough. And it's like we think that the Most High is going to accept that. He's not. Which we're going to go into to see that the Most High is not going to accept that. Because, I mean, would you accept that? Would you accept that from somebody? You told somebody to cook you something. and it comes cooked, but it's not cooked how it's supposed to be cooked. It's not cooked with love. It's not cooked with anything. Think about it when you go to a food spot and you order something and like they bring you something else that you didn't order, but you still got it. They're like, nah, you still gonna pay for it and you still gonna eat it. Or they bring you something and it's burnt. Or they bring you some rice but they put too much water in it, so now you got like rice soup. Are you gonna accept that? No, you're not. So why do we give the Most High bare minimum and think that the Most High is gonna accept that? We can't do the simplest things, man. We can't be to class on time. We can't communicate properly. We can't function the way that we know we're supposed to function. The method that's followed, we don't follow the method. We give literally bare minimum. Literally enough to make it by. Literally enough not to get checked. Not to be put in a council. For a brother not to say something to you. Or a sister not to say something to you. Or a brother or sister not to correct you. We give literally the bare minimum to the Most High. And that's why you can see why only Joshua and Caleb was the only ones out of the 600,000 that was led from Egypt to Israel. You can see why only those two made it into the kingdom. Because everybody else didn't want to change. Everybody else loved the filth that they were in. They loved Egypt. And it's like, that's like what it is with us now. The Most High blessed us with this knowledge and this wisdom. And he cleaned us up so that we can go and clean others up. But it's like we don't care. It's like it's not important to us. We don't study. We rather play video games than get in the book and sharpen ourselves. We rather watch 1 million Netflix series and 1 million movies than study. And communicate with a brother and a sister. We rather not do anything. We rather sleep and just wallow away while our nations getting destroyed. Our family, our kids going to eventually get destroyed. We don't want to do anything. So the Most High blessed us with this knowledge for a reason. We're the salt of the earth now for a reason. But if we lose that savor, like it says, wherewithal shall it be salted. Go ahead and read.
If you lose that Savior, how are you profitable to the ministry? How are you profitable for the one thing that you were made to serve? Ain't you useless? Truthfully? I'm not trying to be mean and rude and harsh, but if you're not profitable to the one thing you were created to do, if it's about keeping the commandments and following the Most High, if you do that bare minimum and you're on autopilot, then how valuable are you to the Most High? You're not very valuable.
Right.
That's why the Most High said he can raise up stones to worship him. Right? He gonna say that? Because he don't want that bare minimum spirit. He don't want that I'm in my comfort zone spirit. He wants that spirit of power. That spirit of I always got to get more and more. Not like, oh, I got 4 breakdowns, I'm good. I got it. I'm gonna sit in class. I'm gonna be a reader my whole life. You don't want that spirit. Student. I'm gonna be a You said a what?
A professional student.
I'm a professional class goer. Right? Read on.
It is thenceforth good for nothing.
It's what?
Thenceforth good for nothing.
Yeah, if the salt can't salt the food, it's good for nothing. If we don't fall into what the Most High wants us to do, our jobs, then we're good for nothing. Read on.
But to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men.
Yeah, you just that salt that they throw behind the back for a you know how they do that? Those little throw the salt behind your back, break your mother's back. I don't know.
It's like some bad luck.
Yeah, you just read on, man.
No, you're like the salt that they. Nah, you can't even be. I was gonna say you're like the salt that they put on the roads when it's snowing.
Even so that's salty.
Trash, but even that has a purpose.
And it has a purpose, and that's real salt.
Yeah,
it's real salty.
Even that has a purpose, but
read on.
Verse 14. Ye are the light of the world.
Right. We're supposed to be the lights of the world. You're supposed to, when you were filthy in your pollution, you weren't a light. Your light was dimmed out. It was dark. It wasn't even lit. But then you got sparked. And now you're supposed to be a light to the world. But how? How are you the light to the world when you barely putting oil in your lamp? Your lamp is like, it's barely being sparked anymore. The oil is running out. You're not re-oiling your lamp, man. When it's time to light things up, it's like, damn, where's his light at? Where's her light at? It's flickering. Time to change that bulb, right?
God.
What you do with a light bulb that's out? You change it. You disregard the old bulb and get a whole new one. Read on.
A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid.
Right. A city that's set on a hill can't be hid. Why? Because that city is lit up. Read on.
Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel.
Right, but no, men do that. The ones that are good with just the bare minimum. The ones that are good with just, I got a few things and I don't need to attain to more. The ones that are caught up in distractions. They're good with just, yeah, I'm going to take my talents and bury them. I'm not going to really be a light to the nation. I'm not going to be a light to anybody. I'm going to hide that light. I'm going to hide that light in the bush. See, the Most High don't want that.
It reminded me when you asked earlier, like, what makes us profitable, and I think it's Paul. They talk about how he was addicted to the ministry.
Yep.
And
it's a Corinthians.
And that's what I've been thinking of, like,
Corinthians 15.
What does it take for someone to be addicted to the ministry? Because I've been thinking, I'm like, man, y'all give a lot of y'all's time, y'all's energy, and for someone to just sit around and like, man, I can't like not participate. Like it's like you just like a vampire, you know, just sucking the energy away and not utilizing that like the time that y'all put in. It's commendable. So I mean, like I'm just now getting addicted to it. Like, man, this is wonderful, man, because like regular school, just to even like get like a license or something like that, or a degree. You got to invest your time, one, but also they want your money. So, you know, it's just like it's more in depth because y'all working on everyone's spirit. Like this is, you know, with the Most High. So.
And that's what it's about. Being addicted to the ministry, you first have to understand that this ain't part-time. You can't be a punch clock Israelite. Like, it's 10 o'clock, brothers. I'm off the clock. Mari will tell you, I stay on my phone. It probably annoys her. I be on the phone so much I get headaches. Right? Because there's no punch out. Listen, if I'm in the middle of sleep and I get a phone call, I gotta wake up. It ain't like, I'm asleep, brother. Hit me, man. You think Kazak is like, oh, you sleep? I'm gonna hit you back. Kazak goes, shalom, man. 10 minutes into the convo. Oh, snap, were you asleep? Not no more. Right? Not no more. I don't, you know, we don't have those, that luxury of, oh, it's 9 o'clock, I'm not ready yet. Oh, I'm not ready to counsel. I'm not ready to teach. We don't have that luxury. For some, it's a luxury because why? They got to get ready because they got to purge out all the video game that they just did the night before. They got to purge out all the drinking. They got to purge out all these things that they let take away the addiction of the ministry, take away from being able to counsel, teach, grow, right? I got to purge those things, and then I'm ready. But it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. What you mean? I already lived the whole full day by 3 o'clock. By 3 o'clock, I'm like, wow, I done did so much. I done had like 8 counsels. Man, if y'all only knew. If y'all only knew. So, but this is the thing. You got to love what you do. You gotta say, I love what I do and I'm doing it for my people. I'm doing it for a purpose. Because if it ain't out of love, then it's not going to last. And you're not going to take joy in, yeah, I get an early phone call, I get late phone calls, I help brother spirits, I build men here, I help build households here, I see children grow. You know, you're not going to take joy in that. You're not going to take joy in your own household. You're going to be lazy in your own house. If you don't do it for real, for real, for real. If you just punch in the clock, you're going to punch the clock in your own house. So now when your rib needs you, babe, I'm busy, I'm on a video game. Oh, babe, I'm busy, I'm at the gym. Oh, babe, I'm busy, I'm doing this. At least I can say that if I got to push my rib to the side, I'm counseling. It ain't like I'm on the video game or doing something that doesn't have to do with the camp or the Bible. You know what I'm saying? That's you should never stiff arm your rib because you're busy playing damn Halo. Or you gotta go get a pump. Or you gotta go hit the club or like, nah. At least if you have to tell your wife or you know, hey, I'm busy right now, it's because you're in the middle of a council or you're in the middle of something that has to do with the body. You see what I'm saying? So that addiction has to come out of love. It has to be really something that you want.
Got it.
Where we at?
We're going to go to Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18.
Just want to finish that one up.
Finish it up.
But on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house.
Right, it does what?
Give it light and give it light unto all that are in the house.
Yeah, but some cats get selfish. They're like, yeah, well, I'm lit up. I'm good. They don't want to light up their house. They don't want to light up the things around them. As long as their little circle is cool, they're like, I'm good, man. I'm going to be bare minimum. I'm comfortable. I'm good with where I'm at. But you were supposed to be that light for the nation.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, you was going to tell. I was going to say.
What you got?
Go to, on that point, hold that. And go to Haggai chapter 1, verse 2. Haggai chapter 1 and verse 2. Because just off of what you just read, right? Verse 15. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Right? So somebody read that Haggai chapter 1, verse 2.
Haggai chapter 1, verse 2.
Read.
Thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, this people say, the time is not come.
But see, our problem is this. We like to put off from day to day. So yeah, we do see the time approaching. We do see that Christ is going to be coming back soon. But, you know what? He's not here yet. So we put that candle under a bushel. We don't let it shine. Marie?
The time that the Lord's house should be built.
But see, the time is here, though, for us to build the Most High's house. And who's the Most High's house? The 12 tribes of Israel. Our people that's out there that's lost and that don't know what's going on and why they keep on making the same mistakes. They caught up in the curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28. Yeah, they're in it. But see, it's time for us to build that house. And the only way that that house can be built is by us using our light to show them how to build it. Read.
Then came the word of the Lord by Haggai the prophet, saying, Is it time for you, O ye, to dwell in your sealed houses? And this house lie waste?
See, but we're letting our people get destroyed because that's the Most High's house. What we're doing right now, we're working to help build the Most High's house. But we're letting that go to waste. Why? Because our light is covered up under a bushel, or our light's completely going out. Why? Because we're at the house, we're on the sticks playing Black Ops, we're playing 2K, we're watching the All-Star game.
You watching all the YouTube videos except for class? You watching all the Vivo?
You're still watching Illuminati videos?
Yeah, you still giving yourself to everything other than the spirit. You caught up in work, you caught up in other people's business, you caught up in school, but you're not caught up in, again, being addicted to the ministry. So where you at?
Verse 4. Haggai chapter 1 and verse 4. Go ahead.
Now therefore thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider your ways. Ye have sown much, and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you.
Go ahead.
Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it in a bag with holes.
Why? Because we don't consider our ways. We don't consider that we're busy working on ourselves. So the Most High has done what? He put a hole in our pockets. He put a hole in our pockets where we can't get ahead in anything. It don't matter how much work we put in for ourselves, it doesn't benefit us. It doesn't benefit us at all. But see, we're supposed to be putting in the work for the Most High's nation, for His building. Read verse 8.
Go up to the mountain and bring wood and build the house, and I will take pleasure in it.
Yeah, the Most High wants us to build His house. Go work in His vineyard. Grow so that you can become a teacher, so that you can help your brothers and sisters, so that the nation of Israel can be built. The Most High will take pleasure in that. He's not going to take pleasure in the things that we're doing now. Read.
And I will be glorified, saith the Lord.
Verse 9.
Ye looked for much, and lo, it came to little.
Read.
And when ye brought it home, I did blow upon it.
Because whenever you try to do things your way, the Most High is the one that stops it. He's the one that shuts it down every time. You go and you look for much. Oh man, you think you finna get this job or you finna make a whole bunch of bread? They don't even call you back. You failed the drug test when you thought you passed and you was gonna pass the drug test. Why? Because you're not doing it the Most High's way by not smoking weed, but you thinking you're gonna be able to do it your way by taking a pill or taking some what is it called, baby?
Blood cleanser? Like a
blood cleanser.
It's called Azos.
Azos. You gonna drink some Azos. You gonna drink some tea to flush out your system because you want to do it your way. So you failed the drug test. Now you can't get the job, or you thinking you finna get the job because this person's finna leave, but they end up hiring somebody that got no qualifications for it when you know how to do the job already. The Most High is the one that blows upon it. He's gonna blow upon your house. But jump back to Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18.
Nah, go to Ecclesiastes 10:18. In the Bible, Ecclesiastes 10:18.
Ecclesiastes.
And then we'll go to Proverbs.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 18.
Come on.
By much slothfulness.
By much what?
By much slothfulness.
Come on.
The building decayed.
Yeah, see, not only do you let the building of the Most High decay, but you let your own house decay because you figured that you got it. You don't got to keep putting in work. I don't have to keep putting maintenance into the building. Think about a building. If you don't put the maintenance in, it's going to decay.
Yep.
I was watching something on Netflix about the world's most busiest cities, and one of them was Moscow, Russia or whatever. It's Moscow, the city of Moscow, and they got something there called, it's a statue. They say it's bigger than the Statue of Liberty, and they got a guy there that he has to do the upkeep and scrape away all the rust and all, because it's right on the river. And they say that if he don't upkeep it within a week, that thing will rust and fall apart. So he's constantly just hitting from section to section, just scraping away rust and keeping the upkeep. So you gotta think about it in these terms, that if you're not doing spiritual upkeep in your household, how quickly will things decay? See, it says through slothfulness, the building decayed. 1 minute, you got your rib, she was all sparkly and shiny new, right? She came in, Ecclesiastes, the 2nd chapter, start hitting, right? And you didn't maintain her spirit because you didn't see the need, because you were content with where she was. But now she starts to decay. Her building, her mind, through all the trials and tribulations. But guess what's happening too? So is your mind. Because you're letting everything pull on you. You're giving yourself to everything other than what's going to build you spiritually. So it says, through much slothfulness, the building decayeth. Read.
And through idleness of the hands.
And through what?
Through idleness.
Yeah, through those idle hands. It says idleness teaches much evil.
Okay.
So through those idle hands, those hands that don't want to put works, what happens?
The house droppeth through.
Yeah, your house falls apart. This is what happens. Because Yeah, it is about the video game. It is about what I want to do. It is about all the many things that my mind is leading me to. But it's never let me focus on the spirit. Whether it be about money, whether it be about riches and cars and carnal things. It's never really truly, listen, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with video games. Right? But when you a man that got children and a wife to maintain, listen, I got a damn Xbox. When was the last time I played my Xbox? Bro, it's been years. That Xbox plays Netflix. Come on. I can't tell you the last time I literally picked up. And I'm a video game guy. Like, my gamer score is high. Okay? I used to get it in. But I can't tell you the last time I literally hopped on the Xbox and sat there and wasted even 10 minutes on a video game. Even an hour. Because to me, it's a waste. I could be doing something else. I could be reading. I could be studying. I could do 10 million other things and worry about playing some childish video game. Or watching some garbage TV show. I watch TV. I do it at night. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with these things, but when you got priorities, when you yourself is getting stagnant in the spirit, you should say, wait a minute. Oh, let me pause the video game real quick and get back on getting my spirit moving forward. Let me make sure my rib is good. Let me make sure that my kids are good. Let me take more attention to reading, doctrine, exhortation, like it says in 2 Timothy 4:16. Let no man despise you in your youth. You know why young cats get looked at like, yeah, you just young and you don't know a damn thing? Because you don't give attention to the things that matter. Right. You rather give more attention to LeBron stats, All-Star game. I haven't watched the All-Star game in like 4 years. Longer. I don't know. Yeah, me too. Yesterday I watched the first half. We watched like the little first half. And that's because we was waiting for a council. Yeah. Right? After that, it wasn't. After that, the game when he was like, nobody knew who won, nobody knew who got MVP. Like, you didn't care. Like how much KD dropped or how much LeBron did or did Team Giannis win or Team LeBron. Nobody gave a damn. Because that's not the priority. That's not my priority. That's not his priority. But some brothers, some sisters, their priorities are so messed up that you start to wallow in those things and you don't grow spiritually. So it's telling us right here, read it from the top.
By much slothfulness, the building decayed.
Now we see why brothers' spiritual tabernacles are decaying, why their minds decay, but why their earthly tabernacles decay. Because you get slothful. You get slothful on your diligence. You get slothful on your discipline. Read.
And through idleness of the hands, the house droppeth through.
And when you see a brother's whole house just fall through, just disappear, just fall, it just gets swallowed up. You like, damn.
Like a black hole.
Like like Dothan and Korah and Dothan, where they got swallowed up by the earth. You see a man's house just get swallowed. You're like, damn, what happened? Well, because he was idle, and idleness teaches much evil. Go to Proverbs.
Actually,
you got another one?
Go to Revelations chapter 3, verse 15.
Whoa, hold on, you jumping? No, you're not. I'm acting like this.
But hey, I actually left Haggai chapter 1 and 9 too early. So I'm going to just read it. Go to Revelation chapter 3, verse 15. But there was a point in Haggai chapter 1, verse 9 that we left too early. In Haggai chapter 1 and 9, it says, ye looked for much, and lo, it came to little. And when ye brought it home, I did blow upon it. Why, saith the Lord of hosts? So the Most High is asking a question. You're working so hard, but you're not getting in anything from your work. You're not seeing the fruits of your labor. And when you bring it to your house, the Most High is just blowing it apart. You wondering why these things is happening to you and why the Most High is doing it. We got to consider why the Most High is doing it. But this is what the Most High says. It says, why saith the Most High of hosts? Because of mine house that is waste, and ye run every man unto his own house. So, why is things falling through? Why is your house decaying and falling through? Why? Because you let the Most High's house go to waste, but you're worried about yours. So that's why yours is just imploding.
You let your calling go to waste. You let the thing that you were purposed for go to waste, which was you were purposed for the ministry. You were purposed to be a royal priesthood, a king, a prince. This is what we were purposed for. Yep. But you let that go to waste, so you think your house is going to flourish?
Nah.
Hell nah, man. Most High is going to make sure that it gets destroyed by either you being lazy as hell and slothful, or by just sheer, it ain't going to work out. You reap what you sow. Right? So where we at now?
Revelation chapter 3, verse 15.
Read.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot.
Yeah, so us, a lot of us right now, because we don't set, like it says in Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18, where there is no vision, the people perish. A lot of us, we don't set any visions or any goals. So we're just stagnant. We're okay with where we're at. We're fine. But that's why the Most High says, because you're not hot and you're not cold. Read.
I would thou were cold or hot.
It was better off that we're hot or that we're cold. It's better off you don't do it at all, or you do it all the way. But see, for you to be able to be hot, you have to be able to set goals in your mind and want to get better. And you got to really evaluate yourself, examine and evaluate your mind and see, man, where do I lack at? What's my weakness? And you got to actually start putting goals in place to make those weaknesses turn to strengths. That's how you can stay hot. Because think about it, man, this will become very monotonous very easily. It's like when you're reading like a very big book, like Isaiah. I think that's like 66 chapters. That gets monotonous after a while. If you're not careful, you're like, man, I don't even want to. You're reading, but you're not retaining it because you do it so much. You start driving. It's like if you're driving to work every day, you drive the same route. It becomes monotonous. You're not careful anymore. Now you can text. You'll text and drive. You're not paying attention because you know what's coming. You know what's going to happen. But the thing is that we don't set goals and try to get better. There's always something for us to do in the truth, especially when it comes to doing the Most High's work. You can never know too much. There's always something that you can work on. So we really got to like evaluate ourselves and see what's our weakness and say, you know what? Let me attack this weakness. Because if Christ came back today, we're going to go into this part too, but if Christ came back today, you got to really ask yourself like, man, am I going to be accepted? Can I stand bold in the face of Christ and be like, you know what? I did this. I ran this race with everything that I had. Or is he going to come back on a day where you're like, yeah, I'm really not feeling this, so I'm not going to give it my all. You know what? I know I'm supposed to be here at this time, but I'm going to be late. Or I'm going to come up with an excuse why I don't have to be there, or why I don't have to do it. Or you know what? I'm feeling sick. I'm not feeling the best. So you know what? I just don't want to do it at all. What if Christ came back at that moment? How would you feel? And you know, we got to really get it in our minds to see like, man, we can't be overcome by that. Read verse 16.
So then, because thou art lukewarm.
Yeah, we don't want to be lukewarm. Nobody likes a lukewarm thing. Be hot or cold. I don't want my ice cream to be hot. Like ice cream, be cold. That's what it's for. I don't want cold soup. I want my soup to be hot. I know people like iced tea, but I prefer my tea to be hot. You don't want cold coffee. You don't want a cold bowl of soup. You either want something to be hot or you want something to be cold. So there's times when, yeah, you might need to be cold, but there's the majority of the time, yeah, you need to be hot. So we got to put things in place to where we can always be hot and always burn it on fire for the Most High. Read.
And neither cold nor hot.
Well, and really what it's saying too is, man, pick a damn side. Figure it out. Are you going to be mediocre or not? Are you going to be bare minimum? Are you going to be just in your comfort zone? Or are you going to take the reins and run with it?
Yep.
Because if you lukewarm, we'll read. Go ahead.
I will spew thee out of my mouth.
Right. The Most High is not going to, again, you're not useful. Read on.
Because thou sayest, I am rich, and increase with goods.
Now, let me say this real quick. Because This is the thoughts of a man that does have goals. But what type of goals?
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry.
They're carnal. Right? It's all about cars, clothes. It's all about the carnal things, but there's nothing spiritual. You have different types of growth. You do have carnal growth, you got spiritual growth, but we understand and we should know that the carnal should come after the spiritual. You get the spiritual growth so you know how to handle the carnal. And you know how to be without the carnal if you get it and lose it. See, that's why spirit is so important. That's why spiritual growth and spiritual know-how is so important, because think about the people that get all the money, don't have it, blow their brains out.
Yeah.
They didn't know how to abase or abound.
Right.
They didn't understand that the Most High brings you low and brings you high. It's nothing all of a sudden to make a poor man rich. They didn't get that. They didn't have that spiritual understanding. But imagine the ones like us, everybody in here, where we know how to get, we know how to lose, we know how to live with both. We don't get too much, we don't get high-minded when we get a little change in our pocket. And we don't get all depressed when we don't have a little change in our pocket. Right? We just know how to abase or abound. We know how to suffer need. Yeah. But see, a man that doesn't have the right goals, doesn't have the right motivation, he says what? Read it again.
I am rich.
And
I am rich.
Uh-huh.
And increase with good.
Come on.
And have need of nothing.
Right. I have need. I'm good, man. I don't got to get out and work. I'm good. Right? I'm comfy.
I'm at where I want to be at.
I'm where I want to be at. I don't know about y'all niggas, but I'm good. Right? Read on.
And no, it's not that thou art wretched.
That thou art what?
Wretched.
Yeah. You live in that wretched life. Because what happens is when that's all taken, all the carnal aspirations, the car breaks down, when the house droppeth through, because you didn't know how to maintain it, because you didn't grab that spiritual part, you're going to be wretched, man. You're going to be the one depressed, wanting to blow your brains out, wanting to commit suicide.
I got the definition for wretched. Well, the synonyms. It's unhappy.
You're unhappy.
Sad.
Sad.
Brokenhearted.
Brokenhearted.
Grief-stricken.
Grief. Why? Because the car broke down. Because you didn't have the wisdom to know you got to oil change that. You got to get an oil change on it every 3,000. You just thought, oh, I can just drive it. I'm flossing. Right? You didn't get the understanding on how to maintain the vehicle. Like, yeah, you got to get up, go to work, put work in to be able to pay that bill. My ribs gonna handle that. I don't gotta get up. See, you had that thought in your mind. I'm good. My ribs making the money. But then when that stops, what happens? What happens? You get grief-stricken. You get depressed. Because now you're like, damn, I'm losing everything. But before it was like, hey, I'm good. I've attained my goals. You see how that works, where when you set these spiritual goals, there is no cap. You don't cap spiritual goals. Carnal goals get capped. They get capped on how much money you're making. You can only afford a certain amount of car if you're making a certain amount of money. But I can have all the charity in the world. Nobody can cap that. Yeah. Right? I can have all the love, all the long suffering. That's up to each individual. Read on.
And miserable and poor.
And what?
And miserable and poor.
Right? Read.
And blind and naked.
Yeah, this is what really is going on. When you have these carnal goals that are set up. Where you at?
Verse 18.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
that's it. Where we going now?
Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you become miserable. You become poor. Because now you're poor in spirit. You become blind. So now you have no vision. And you definitely naked.
And it's blind leading the blind. Now you leading your rib, kids.
Mm-hmm. Now you ashamed. You're always getting ashamed for something. Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 23.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 23.
Go ahead.
Say not, what profit is there of my service?
Yeah, we're not supposed. That's a question. We're not supposed to say, what's the profit of me watching class online for 3 hours, or coming to class for 3 hours studying? Because we should already understand what the profit of it is. Read.
And what good things shall I have hereafter?
Yeah, we should already understand what we're doing this for. Why we're doing this. We're not doing this so that we can go live in the Malibu or in Hollywood. I was talking to my apartment guy today. He was saying in California that his best friend had an apartment right on Hollywood Street. That apartment was small as hell, but it was a $2,000 a month apartment.
Oh, yeah.
That's not what we're working for. We're not working to pay $2,000 for one apartment.
Wow.
Why? So we can be in Hollywood and we can see the red carpet and the Oscars and all that. That's not what we're working for. We're working for the kingdom. Where when we get a statue, we don't have to have a guy. We don't have to worry about having a guy maintaining that every week. Because it's going to get rusty like the scripture says. We know what we're working for. Read.
Again, say not, I have enough.
Yeah, we can't get complacent in anything. We can't feel like, okay, just because I'm in the truth, I'm in the camp, I'm doing the works that's necessary for the camp to thrive. We can't say, okay, we're doing enough. We always have to do more, like the scripture says. Our righteousness is as filthy rags. When you go after the Most High, you can never go far enough, like the other scripture says. We can't get complacent. We have to keep fighting our old man to kill that old man so that we can keep moving forward. Read.
And possess many things.
Read.
And what evil can come to me hereafter?
Yeah, I'm good now. I got the car, I got the video game, I got my apartment, I got this, I got that. I'm good.
Most High blessed.
Most High blessed me now. I'm good now. Is that all that you are worth? Is that all that you're... The one thing about this scripture is showing us that we ain't even supposed to ask. We're not supposed to be looking for a reward for our services to the Most High.
Right.
That's one. Say not, what profit is there for my service? And what good thing shall I have thereafter? You're supposed to be doing this out of a free will. Free will offering, right? Out of a willing mind. That's one. And then when you do get, you ain't supposed to sit back, oh yeah, I'm good now. You see, Most High blessed me. I got what I wanted. Got my carnal gifts. Now I'm a fall back off of what got me here. See, that's why when you do read in Revelations, he said, I have fought with you because you left your first love. Right? Christ had a problem with the ones that left off their first love. See, when you was sparked and you was illuminated and you was ready to go die for Christ and gung-ho, run head first into a mountain for the truth, what happened? What happened? You got what you got, and you were like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good now. That's all I needed was my rib, the car, the house, the job. That's all I needed. All I needed was the job. I got me a Bible-fearing husband, God-fearing husband. Right? I'm good now. I don't gotta maintain. I got him hook, line, and sinker, girl. You let yourself go.
Okay.
Now you start losing discipline with your husband. When you first got him, you was ready to bow down and be in subjection when he first chose you. And then now all of a sudden you feel like, oh, we 5 years in, so now I can just be disrespectful as hell. Now I can talk at the side of my mouth. Now I don't have to hold the standard. I can be lazy with the standard. It don't work like that. Read on.
Hold on, before you do, somebody give me you're gonna read that, but I want another brother to get Psalms chapter 119 and verse 71. We're gonna tie these two scriptures together. Psalms chapter 119 and verse 71. And all right, Lamar, get Psalms 119 chapter 119 and verse 71. Matt, go ahead, read verse 25. And Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 25. Go ahead.
In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction.
See, now because a lot of us, we start to prosper, we forget all about the affliction and what the affliction did to us. Read that Psalms.
Psalms chapter 119 verse 71. It is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes.
So see, read that 25 again, Matt.
In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction.
And in Psalms, it said, it is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes. So when we get prosperous, when we get into our prosperity, what happens? What do we forget?
The Most High.
We forget the Most High. We forget the statutes. Because it says, read Lamar.
It is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes.
That's the whole reason why the Most High afflicts us. And so that we may learn, especially now when we're young in the truth, we're afflicted so we may learn, so that we may humble ourselves and learn of the Most High and learn of his ways. But see, when we start to prosper, we forget all about the affliction and we forget all about the statutes that the Most High laid down for us. The Most High gets put on the back burner. All right, you can drop that, Lamar. Go ahead.
And in the day of affliction, there is no remembrance of prosperity.
Yeah, and when you end up dropping back to an affliction state, now you forget what it was like to be prospering. Now you want to call back on the Most High's name. Now you want to start saying, "Oh Lord, Lord, I need you."
Yeah. Now you want to pray. You start. You got what you prayed. You got what you wanted. You stop praying. Now all of a sudden you're losing it. Now all of a sudden you want to pray. You should have been praying. You should have never stopped.
You should have kept the standard. You should have kept the statute.
You should have kept the standard that got you the blessing that the Most High gave you.
Right.
You should have kept the standard that was going to promote growth and abundance in the spirit. Where we at?
Verse 26.
Nah, jump to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 10.
Is that mine? Yeah. Go there. First Thessalonians 4, verse 10.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 10.
Right, because we looked at the carnal growth side. Now, what should we really be looking at is the spiritual growth. Read that.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 10. And indeed, ye do it towards all the brethren.
What? Go ahead.
Which are in Macedonia.
Come on.
But we beseech you, brethren.
Read.
That ye increase more and more.
That you stay stagnant.
That ye increase more and more.
That you grow and then you fall back.
That ye increase more and more.
Right. The whole point was for us to increase more and more. Go to 2 Thessalonians 1 and verse 1. The whole point was us to increase more and more. But in what? What were we supposed to increase in? The amount of cars we got? Our riches? Houses? Clothes? Like, oh, I got a bunch of shirts now. I got a gang of shoes. Look at me. What were we supposed to increase in? Read.
2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 4. So that we
2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 1.
Oh, slop. Verse 1. Paul and Silvanus and Timotheus unto the church of the Thessalonians.
Read.
In God our Father and the Lord Yahushua, grace unto you and peace from the Most High our Father.
Read.
And the Lord Yahushua. We are bound to thank the Most High always for you, brethren, as it is meet for because that your faith groweth exceedingly.
Wait, what was supposed to grow?
That your faith groweth exceedingly.
See, your faith was supposed to grow. Come on.
And the charity.
And the what?
And the charity.
Wait. So faith and charity. These are the things that you were supposed to be growing in. Faith and charity. The belief that when I do for others, the Most High would do for me. Read on.
And the charity of every one of you all towards each other aboundeth.
Right? Where you at?
Verse 4.
Read on.
So that we ourselves glory in you, in the churches of the Most High, for your patience.
So what else?
For your patience.
So faith, charity, patience. Read.
And faith in all your persecutions and tribulations that ye endure.
Read on.
Which is a manifest token of the righteous judgments of the Most High.
Right, so going through all the tribulations, this was how you manifested. This is how you manifested. This is how you manifested the Most High, man. And through the sufferings, this is how you manifested Yahushua through all the sufferings that we went through. Go ahead.
That ye may be counted worthy of the kingdom of the
Most High. This is how we were counted worthy. You have to build your faith. You have to build your charity, your patience. Not your bank, not your cars, not your clothes, not your jewelry, not sitting around video gaming it. None of those things mattered at the end of the day. What counted us worthy was, how much charity do I have? Because, again, I can't cap charity. Your bank account can definitely cap. You get tired of playing that video game. Some of y'all don't even get bored. I get bored on video games, man. I'm easily bored. That's why I don't play them. But some brothers can stay up all night. What'd you do last night? Man, you know I was on that Black Ops. Really? How long? You know, I didn't get no sleep. Like, what you talking about? So, I was up studying all night. I'm energized. When you were playing Black Ops all night, and now you dead tired. That's how that works. That's how it goes down. Because I'm trying to build faith, charity, patience, long-suffering, endurance. Read.
For which he also suffered.
Right. So those are the things you're supposed to be building. Go to Job 17:9. Job 17:9. Somebody else get 2 Peter.
Job chapter 17, verse 9.
Read.
The righteous also shall hold on his way.
Yeah, see, a righteous man is going to hold on to the things that got him to that level. But was he just going to get to a certain level and stop? Read.
Come. And he that hath clean hands shall be stronger and stronger.
Yeah, he didn't have idle hands. See, that idleness teaches much evil. But a man with clean hands, he was going to grow stronger and stronger by the day. Because he's not touching accursed things. He ain't trying to roll up a blunt on the low. Like, I'm a study, but I'm gonna get high a little bit to ease my stress. I'm going to give myself to drinking. I'm going to give myself to the carnal. No, a man with clean hands kept growing stronger and stronger. Go to 2 Peter. Go to 2 Peter 1 and verse 5. These are the things you're supposed to be growing in. Read.
2 Peter chapter 1 verse 5.
Come on.
And beside this, giving all diligence.
Read.
Add to your faith.
Right. So we were supposed to be growing in diligence. This is what added to your faith. You were supposed to be diligent in what? In being made profitable for the ministry. In being the king and priest. You were supposed to be diligent in knowing that, man, I was chosen. I was pulled out of my minor. I was pulled away from the blunt smoke. I was already pulled away from the video games. I was already pulled away from the whoremongering. So why would I run back to that? Read on.
Add to your faith virtue.
So, and then you add to your faith. Go ahead.
And to virtue knowledge.
And then you add virtue. And then you're supposed to be adding knowledge. You see that? It doesn't say nothing about anything carnal. You gotta see what it's saying here. Watch. Read on. You'll get it. Y'all will get it. Read.
And to knowledge temperance.
And to knowledge temperance. Somebody look up that word temperance.
Oh, I got virtue. Can I say virtue real quick?
Oh yeah, you got that.
So virtue is goodness, righteousness, morality, uprightness, integrity, dignity, honesty, honor, respectability.
You see that?
Trustworthy.
These are all spiritual gifts. Paul said, seek spiritual gifts, man. But we're supposed to not just get them, because you might come and not have one and have the other. But it's showing you that you got one, then you were supposed to get another. Get another, get another. You were supposed to lose the ones you already got. You were supposed to abound more and more, increase, get greater. Read.
Oh, did you want the temperance?
What's the definition of temperance?
Temperance, abstinence, sobriety.
Wow. That's cold.
You know why I like this 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 5 through 9.
That's what I'm at, right? 2 Peter 1.
You know, we should all, especially verse 1 through 5, 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 5 through 7. If you pay attention, because we're going to read to it, this is something that we all should write down and really be like, you know what? Let me make sure that I'm giving my diligence. Let me focus on diligence. And then let me focus on my faith and my virtue. Then after the virtue, let me focus on, now let me try to gain some knowledge. Let me start reading. And then after the knowledge, let me do the temperance, right?
Right.
Like we just read. Let me start adding Because all temperance is you exercising the knowledge.
And you being, like I said, sober and abstinent. And it don't have to be in this order. Some brothers already come, sisters already come temperate.
Gone.
Some don't. It don't have to be in it. Some already come with some form of the knowledge. But it was about not just coming with what you had and then just that was it. Yeah. Well, I know Christ is black. I know that now. No, you were supposed to add other things unto yourself. Abound more and more. Watch, read on. Go ahead.
And to temperance, patience.
Right.
And to patience, godliness.
Go ahead.
And to godliness, brotherly kindness.
Read.
And to brotherly kindness, charity.
Right. Go ahead.
For if these things be in you, and abound.
And what?
And abound.
And what?
And abound.
See, if these things be in you,
and abound.
Grow. Abound means to grow. Read.
They make you that ye shall neither be barren.
You should neither be what?
Be barren.
Come on.
Nor unfruitful.
You ain't gonna be barren or unfruitful. There was a scripture we missed. We didn't hit. It said, I have not chosen you. Excuse me. You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you to bring that ye shall bring forth fruit. That's what Christ said. So now, the way you do it is you get all these different characteristics and virtues. So you know, so you're not barren. Your household ain't gonna be barren. Neither will the house of the Most High be barren. Neither will your spirit be barren.
You can't be. You can't be barren, because remember that parable where Christ came and he went to the fig tree. You are that fig tree. So you don't want Christ to come and then he's like, where's your fruits at? And you're barren. You're barren of those fruits. Because what did he tell that fig tree? He told the fig tree to wither away. The fig tree withered away and died. So you don't want to be put in that predicament where you don't have no fruits when Christ comes to check on those fruits. Or when you're doing any form of work, somebody comes to you and they ask you a question about the truth and you're not prepared. You don't have the fruit for it. Or you're sent out to do something regarding the camp or regarding whatever, but you can't do it because you never prepared yourself. You don't have the fruits for it.
Go ahead, read on.
You can't be barren.
I'm sorry, go ahead, read on.
Nor unfruitful in the knowledge of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Read verse 8 one more time.
For if these things be in you,
right,
and abound,
read,
they make you that ye shall be neither barren, nor unfruitful,
come on,
in the knowledge of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Read verse 9.
But he that lacketh these things is blind.
Yeah, the one that gave himself to the video games, the one that got part of the knowledge and didn't want to keep abounding, it said he's what?
Blind.
Read.
And cannot see afar off.
There is no vision, the people perish. Proverbs 28.
Got it.
Right? He can't see afar off. So now when it's like, okay, we're going to do this, and this, it's like, we are? I don't think so. I ain't doing that. All right, babe, listen. We're going to do this. We're going to make this happen. We're going to do this. No, we ain't. I don't see that. You can't see afar off because why? You got stagnant. You got lazy. Read on.
And had forgotten that he was purged from his old sin.
What did they forget?
Forgotten that he was purged from his old sin.
You forgot where the Most High pulled you from. You forgot about those weak and beggarly elements. See, you forgot that the same thing you're hung up on, the same things that make you stagnant is what the Most High pulled you from. You play video games in the world. You don't need that right now. You chase women in the world. You don't need that right now. You are emotional as hell in the world for you women. That ain't the time for this right now. You were the head HBIC, right? You were the head chick in charge. That ain't your time right now. Some of you women don't grow because you still think that you in charge. You like old girl in Hustle and Flow when he said, put your hands on the wheel and say, I'm in charge. I'm in charge. Right? What was her name? Brenda? What was her name? Rhonda. You still think y'all Rhonda. I'm in charge. You ain't in charge. That's why you don't grow. That's why you're still stagnant. Because you fighting the authority. You're fighting the submitting to your husband. Submitting to the word. You fight that so much. There is no growth no more. There is no fruitfulness. You barren. Where we at?
Verse 10.
Read verse 9 one more time.
But he
Guilty.
that lacketh these things is blind.
Come on.
And cannot see afar off.
Right.
And have forgotten that he was purged from his old sin.
Right. So what is it what old sins hold men back? Or what comforts hold men back? What is it?
A rib.
Why do you say that? Oh, I like it. I like it.
I would say sometimes some men get too comfortable,
Right?
and are lackadaisical,
Right?
and rather be with their rib than with their own brothers, or trying to put forth the effort to deliver the truth.
Because they forget that those that those that have wives be as though you have none. They forget that. They forget that even though you have a wife, Paul said it. Be as though you have none. What comes first? The body, the ministry. See, you talking about when you were saying a bit about being addicted to the ministry. Yeah, that you literally have to do that. You got to have kids and act like you don't, and not like, oh, I'm casting you niggas off type. But they got to you have to understand that they don't come first. Being addicted to the ministry, you do that. It tells you here. Basically, if you abound in these things, you won't be barren or fruit. Your house won't suffer. See, brothers got it mixed up. Like, let me go get all the carnal things first so I don't suffer. But you end up suffering anyway because you forgot about the spirit. What else? So, rib. What else? Come on. Everybody, come on. I know it's 10, but
Their
one
job.
of these answers. Their job. You put your job before the Most High. What else?
Sleep.
Huh?
Sleep.
Slothfulness. Sleepy. A little sleep, a little slumber, right? A little folding of the hands, right?
God.
But you don't even wake up to put food in your mouth because you want to sleep. What else? What are some comforts that brothers, sisters, not just brothers, but sisters also, it stops them from constantly being diligent in the spirit?
Pride. Like for me,
Ooh.
my pride is like,
Ooh.
I don't want to ask for help, or I feel like I know a better way instead of just asking.
You get comfortable in that pride.
Yeah.
You get comfortable in thinking that you have the solution.
Come.
Yeah, but remember, what is pride? Pride is the beginning of when one depart from the Most High. So what do you depart from? You depart from understanding that there's safety in the multitude of counselors. You depart from understanding that what a brother is born through adversity. A brother is there for you to rely on.
Now you start to fool yourself.
You depart from this simple little basic things. What else?
Her husband.
A woman and her husband. She gets comfortable in the husband, right? Same thing. Wives, be as those that are married, be as though you have none. What else? Family. There's a lot of things that we can get comfortable in that hold us back, right?
You know, another thing that that holds us back too is trying to come back. You know how like back in the days we had our own culture, and now since we've been living in America, you got the American culture. So a lot of things that hold us back is us being grown up in the American culture, being grown up in the white man's culture, and trying to go back to our culture because we loved this culture so much. And the things that this culture offered us that tended to our flesh, and the things that, you know what I'm saying, the things that cater to our flesh and cater to our thoughts, all the negativity that, you know, that America, that Babylon, that Egypt offered us, it's hard for us to...
Yeah, it's just like Lot's wife.
Go back, yeah.
It's just like Lot's wife, where was it the fact that she looked back and got turned to salt? No, she was lusting after that whole lifestyle.
Said in the Josephus that she repeatedly looked back. So she was still she was still attached to that lifestyle that she was leaving behind.
Right.
And she was feeling a sense of remorse for that.
She didn't want to give it up.
Right.
She didn't want to go to Micah. No, no. What were you going to say, Major?
I was going to say, in reference to what like Rob was saying, put it in one word, holidays. A lot of us don't want to let go of like certain holidays because we're so infatuated with the customs and traditions of it.
Right, the customs of the people are vain. Go to Micah real quick, 2 and 10, real basic, real easy. Go to Deuteronomy 12 and 9. We're gonna end it. We're gonna end it at. Somebody get Deuteronomy 12 and 9. Somebody else get Galatians 4 and 9, and we'll end it here.
Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse 9.
No, Micah 2 and 10. First.
God.
Got it.
Micah chapter 2 verse 10. Arise ye and depart.
Right.
For this is not your rest.
Yeah, this is the one thing we have to understand, that if we're called for a service, it ain't time to rest. It's not time to be comfortable. It's not time to sit back. It's not time to kick it. You haven't made it to the kingdom because you can go to Walmart and buy a console. You haven't made it to the kingdom because now you got the apartment. You're not in the kingdom. You didn't make it. You didn't get nothing. You haven't attained anything. If it's about getting carnal things, then you got to reevaluate and reassess what it is you're here fighting for, and what it is you're called for. If we're called to be profitable for the ministry, then that's what you got to make yourself be. Profitable for the ministry. But you can't take a rest. It ain't about resting, read.
Because it is polluted.
Right. These are the things you were pulled from already. You were already pulled from the pollution. Why are you going to go back? Read on.
It shall destroy you.
And those are the things that were destroying us. Read.
Even with a sword destruction.
Go to Deuteronomy 12 and 9.
Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse 9. For as ye are not as yet come to the rest and to the inheritance.
This is what we got to understand. We have not really came to the rest and the inheritance. We haven't inherited nothing yet. It's still a fight. It's still a spiritual battle. So don't you got to exercise the spirit daily? You can't get comfortable in the carnal. You foolish Galatians. How you begin in the spirit and be made perfect through the carnal? It don't work like that. You began spiritually gung-ho, spiritual ninja, and then it was about getting a car? Now you're good? It don't work like that. From there, let's end it with Galatians 4 and verse 9.
Galatians chapter 4, verse 9.
But
now, after that ye have known God.
Right? So now that you guys know, now that we know the Most High, Christ is black, Christ came for the Jews, John 3:16. Now that we know that, read.
Or rather, are known of the Most High.
Come on.
How turn ye again to the weak and beggarly elements?
Yeah, we don't want to turn to the weak and beggarly elements that we just got pulled from. We don't want to turn back to our comforts. Things that kept us stagnant and lazy in the world. We should always be looking, how do we abound in the things we read in Peter's? Read on.
Whereunto ye have desire again to be in bondage.
Yeah, see, those are the things that made you a slave. You were a slave to your comforts. Comfort food, comfort this, comfort that, your comfortable bed, all that. I'm not saying you can't have a comfortable bed. Definitely need that. But any questions?
Lot.
I know y'all got a bunch of. I know y'all have questions online.
No, I actually have a question.
What's that?
When it says "or rather are known of God," what does that mean?
When it says, where we at? Read it again. Yeah, when it says you're known of God, it says rather you know God or are known of God. Meaning, the difference is this. But now that after you have known God, so you've learned the truth, right? You learn Christ is black, who Christ came for, you learn all that, you know, who you are. Then you're known of the Most High, meaning people now know what you represent, right? People knew that, wait a minute, she was the ex-dancer, she was the ex-drug dealer, he was the ex-pimp, but now he's about the Most High. It's saying, why would you turn back to the things that you were pulled from? Why would you turn back to that filth that people knew you were pulled out of? Right?
On that too.
What's that?
It's 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 3.
1
Corinthians chapter 8, verse 3.
Read.
But if any man love God, the same is known of him. And the reason being is, if you love God, if you love me, keep my commandments, right?
Right.
So if you love the Most High, then you're going to keep his commandments. That's how you become known of him.
Because it's like, oh, wait, she got the hair wrap, she got the fringes, she got the... You see what I'm saying? You're known now of God. You're known of God.
Yeah, you start trying to clean yourself up and be right in his eyes. So
right. I know you had some questions on 1 Corinthians 1 and 8. 8 and what?
8 and 3.
8 and 3. Yeah, we thank y'all for joining us. We didn't get to your question. We apologize. We started a little bit late. But we will be back here Wednesday, so you can ask away. We thank y'all for joining us again. Remember the Passover, April the 21st. Make sure you RSVP for that so we can know if you want a garment. Please let us know. What else is coming up? Oh, Purim, right? The 18th of March, right? 18th and 19th?
18th and 19th.
Yeah, 18th and 19th of March. March. Yeah, so we got Purim coming up next month. So look out for that. Yeah, I mean, if there's nothing else, we're going to go ahead and salute. Remember, we'll be back here Wednesday. So again, if we didn't get to your question, we can get to it Wednesday, all right? Go ahead and salute them online. Let's say shalom.
Shalom! Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie.
Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English, Jesus Christ, in Hebrew, is Yahweh. So do or die. The immaculate conception is deception, along with the myth of giving gifts on December 25th. Christmas is Satan's clause, the birth of Nimrod, and not the son of God. To you was kind of odd. On the Passover, Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about the